All right, so like imagine you're like Indiana Jones, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you stumble across this like ancient clay tablet
Mm-hmm.
buried deep in the ruins of Babylon.
Okay.
And it's got like these secrets to financial success written all over it.
All right.
That's kind of what we're doing today on this deep dive.
Yeah.
We're going to crack open The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason.
Oh, very cool.
And we're going to see if we can unlock some of that age-old wisdom that can help, fatten our purses today.
Yeah, it's amazing how this book, it uses these stories, these parables
Right.
set in ancient Babylon to teach you these financial principles that really are like just as relevant now as they were thousands of years ago.
Yeah, and it's not all vague advice either. Like, Clason, he gets down to brass tacks and gives us 7 concrete cures for a lean purse
Oh, wow.
and 5 laws of gold. And these aren't just like, made up on the spot or something. They're actually shared by Arkad, who is supposedly the richest man in Babylon,
Okay.
when the king asks him to teach the citizens how to become wealthy.
Oh, so like, if a king thought that these principles were valuable enough to share with his entire kingdom,
Right.
there must be something to them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So let's dive into the first cure.
Okay.
Start thy purse to fattening.
I like that.
Yeah.
Very, very descriptive.
Yeah.
So this one seems pretty straightforward, right?
Mm.
Save at least 1/10 of your earnings.
Yeah. Pay yourself first is what we call that today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pay yourself first. But even back then,
Yeah.
even in ancient Babylon, people struggled with this.
Yeah.
And Arkad, he compares desires to weeds.
Mm-hmm.
He says wherever there's space, they'll just pop up.
Such a vivid analogy.
Isn't it?
And it's so true still today. I mean, how often do you get a raise or bonus and suddenly you've got all these new expenses
Exactly right.
appearing as if out of nowhere?
Yeah. It's like they were just waiting for their opportunity,
Exactly. Yeah. Just by consistently saving 10% right off the top.
Right.
You're essentially limiting the space for those impulsive wants to take root.
So it's like you're setting up a barrier almost before they even have a chance
Right.
to grow.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so what's next on the list? What's the next cure?
Cure number 2 is all about, getting a handle on your spending.
Okay.
Control thy expenditures.
Ooh, I like that one too.
Yeah.
So in today's terms, that's all about budgeting and knowing the difference between what you need and what you just want, right?
Yeah.
So no more, late night Amazon sprees.
Not necessarily. Remember, Arkad wasn't advocating for a life of just complete,
Right.
deprivation.
Right.
He understood that, we need to enjoy life's pleasures.
Sure.
It's more about making conscious choices,
Yeah.
With your money, do you really need that new gadget, or would that money be better served going towards a financial goal?
Right. It's about prioritizing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's like Arkad invented the treat yourself budget line item, but with like a Babylonian twist.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got, we're saving, we're budgeting. What's the next step to fattening up that purse?
Well, cure number 3 is where things start to get exciting.
Oh.
Make thy gold multiply.
Ooh.
This is where the magic of investing comes in.
Okay, so it's not enough to just save. You got to make that money work for us.
Exactly. Arkad understood the power of compound interest even back then.
Really? Even back then?
Oh, yeah. Remember his story about investing in bronze for the city gates?
Oh, right.
That was like a long-term stable investment that generated passive income over time.
So what would be like the modern day equivalent of that?
Well, it could be anything from investing in index funds or real estate or even starting a side hustle.
Okay.
The key is to find opportunities that offer a balance of risk and reward that align with your financial goals.
Makes sense.
Imagine, even if you consistently invest just a small amount each month,
Right.
over time, that money can grow significantly thanks to compound interest.
Yeah, I've heard that described as like a snowball rolling down a hill.
Exactly. It just keeps gathering more and more snow as it goes.
Love that analogy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're saving, we're budgeting, we're making smart investments.
Mhm.
What could possibly go wrong?
Well, that's where cure number 4 comes in.
Okay.
Guard thy treasures from loss.
Right.
Arkad, he actually tells a cautionary tale about how he lost his entire savings in a bad investment with a brickmaker
Oh, no.
who promised to buy him rare jewels from a faraway land.
Oh.
It's a reminder that even the wisest among us can fall prey to scams and risky ventures.
So due diligence is important.
Always.
Even in ancient Babylon.
Absolutely. And this is still so relevant today, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, think about all the investment scams out there.
Right.
Those too good to be true crypto schemes to those shady online businesses,
Yeah, it's like the Wild West out there sometimes.
It really is. And Arcad, he emphasizes the importance of seeking advice from experienced individuals in relevant fields.
Right, so you're saying I shouldn't go to my baker for financial advice?
Probably not the best idea. Just like you wouldn't go to a brickmaker for advice on precious jewels, right?
Right.
You shouldn't just blindly follow investment advice from unreliable sources.
So do your research, read reviews, talk to a financial advisor?
Exactly.
Before you make any big decisions?
Absolutely.
Got it. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right. So, cure number 5, make of thy dwelling a profitable investment.
Okay.
So back then, this probably meant, owning your own home outright, right?
That's right. In ancient Babylon, owning your home was a symbol of stability and security.
Sure.
A way to put down roots and build wealth over time.
But let's be honest, in today's world, homeownership is a lot more complicated.
Sure.
Especially with, the cost of houses and interest rates going up and all that.
Yeah.
Sometimes renting can make more financial sense, especially for people who are just starting out or want more flexibility.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all solution, right?
Definitely not.
It's more about thinking critically about how our living situation impacts our finances.
Absolutely.
Okay, speaking of the future, cure number 6 is something I find pretty fascinating.
Okay.
Ensure a future income.
Right.
And this is where Arcad gets really forward-thinking.
He does.
He envisions a system where everyone contributes a small amount to ensure a payout for families, when someone passes away.
It's remarkable, isn't it? He basically predicted modern-day insurance.
Yeah, he did.
It highlights the importance of planning for the unexpected and, making sure your loved ones are taken care of.
It's like that old saying, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
Exactly.
And finally, cure number 7 is all about investing in yourself.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah. Increase thy ability to earn.
Mm-hmm.
So Arcad really believed in the power of continuous learning and skill development.
He encouraged people to become masters of their craft, to seek knowledge.
Right.
And to always be looking for ways to improve.
So it's not just about working hard, but working smart and finding ways to increase your earning potential.
Yeah, and in today's world, that could mean taking online courses or attending workshops or even just, reading books and articles related to your field.
So many options.
There are, yeah.
Okay, so investing in yourself is one of the best ways to secure your financial future.
Absolutely, and it's an ongoing process, right?
Right.
The more you learn and grow, the more opportunities will come your way.
So we've covered Arcad's 7 cures for a lean purse.
We have.
And it's amazing how relevant they still are in today's world.
It really is, yeah.
But wait, there's more.
There is.
We still need to dive into those 5 laws of gold that Arcad passes down to his son, Nomasir.
Oh, yes. Those laws, they build on those 7 cures, and they offer even deeper financial wisdom.
All right, and I hear they come with a pretty interesting story.
Oh, they do, yeah. It's like a financial treasure map passed down through generations.
I like it.
Yeah.
So are you ready to unlock those secrets?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
All right, we'll be right back after a quick break. Okay, so picture this Arcad, the richest man in Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
He gives his son Nomasir this bag of gold and a clay tablet with these 5 laws of gold inscribed on it.
Oh, wow.
It's like a test to see if he's worthy to inherit the family fortune.
Talk about pressure.
Right.
So what's the first law that Nomasir has to master?
Well, the first law kind of echoes that first cure,
Yeah.
Gold cometh gladly and in increasing quantity to any man who will put by not less than 1/10 of his earnings to create an estate for his future and that of his family.
Okay.
So it emphasizes, consistent saving and the magic of compound interest.
So even thousands of years ago, they understood the power of compound interest.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
And Clason illustrates this beautifully through Nomasir's journey.
Okay.
So even when he's forced into slavery after he squanders his initial gold,
Oh, no.
he remembers his father's lesson and he starts saving again little by little.
Hmm.
And eventually this small act of discipline helps him rebuild his life and regain his freedom.
It's a powerful reminder that even small amounts saved consistently can really add up over time.
Absolutely.
I mean, how can our listeners put this law into action today?
Well, think about it this way.
Oh,
What's like one small expense you could cut back on and redirect that money to a savings account?
oh,
Maybe it's that daily latte or a subscription you don't really use or, packing your lunch a couple times a week instead of eating out.
right.
Even just a few dollars saved each day can add up over time thanks to that power of compound interest.
Small changes, big results.
Exactly.
I like it.
Mm.
Okay, let's move on to law number 2.
Okay.
This one states that Gold laboreth diligently and contentedly for the wise owner who finds for it profitable employment, multiplying even as the flocks of the field.
Mm-hmm.
So this one's all about putting our saved money to work, right?
Exactly. This law connects back to cure number 3.
Okay.
Make thy gold multiply.
Uh-huh.
It's all about finding profitable and safe investments for your savings. Just like ARCOG saw an opportunity to invest in the bronze for those city gates.
Right.
We need to find ways to make our money grow.
So where should people start looking for those profitable employments today?
Well, that's where doing your research comes in and seeking advice from trusted financial advisors.
Okay.
Remember, cure number 4, guard thy treasures from loss.
Right.
Don't be afraid to ask questions and, educate yourself on the different investment options out there, whether it's stocks or bonds or real estate or even starting your own business.
Right.
The key is to diversify your investments and find opportunities that align with your risk tolerance and your long-term goals.
So it's all about finding that balance between risk and reward.
Exactly.
Not just chasing the latest trends.
No.
Okay. And speaking of seeking wise counsel, law number 3 really drives that point home.
It does. Gold clingeth to the protection of the cautious owner who invests it under the advice of men wise in its handling.
So Arcad learned this the hard way.
He did with that brickmaker.
Right.
But I guess it shows that even the wisest of us can fall prey to bad advice.
We can't be experts in everything, right?
Exactly.
Sometimes we need to get a second opinion from a professional.
Absolutely. Think of it like this.
Okay.
You go to a doctor for medical advice or a mechanic to fix your car.
Right.
Seeking guidance from a financial expert can help you navigate, the complicated world of investing.
Just like having a financial coach in your corner.
Exactly. Someone to help you make those smart moves.
Love that. Okay, so we've talked about saving consistently, investing wisely, seeking expert advice.
Mm-hmm.
What else does Arcad's wisdom have to offer?
Well, law number 4 warns us about venturing outside our circle of competence when it comes to investing.
Okay.
Gold slippeth away from the man who invests it in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar or which are not approved by those skilled in its keep.
So stay in your lane.
Yeah, stick to what you know.
Right.
And avoid those things that seem too good to be true or too complicated.
It's better to miss out on a potential opportunity than to lose all your savings.
That's right. There's no shame in admitting what you don't know and asking for help when you need it.
This reminds me of all the hype around certain investments like cryptocurrencies or NFTs.
Oh, yeah.
They can be exciting, but it's important to understand the risks
Absolutely.
before you jump in.
Yeah. Sometimes the best investments are the ones we don't make.
Okay, I like that. And finally, law number 5. This one warns us about chasing those get-rich-quick schemes.
Yes. Gold flees the man who would force it to impossible earnings, or who followeth the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers, or who trusts it to his own inexperience and romantic desires in investment.
So patience and realistic expectations are key.
Exactly. This law reminds us that building wealth takes time and discipline and a good dose of skepticism.
Right. Remember how Nomasir fell for that scheme?
Oh, yeah.
Promising him quick riches.
It's a cautionary tale that's just as relevant today.
Yeah, it's like those online ads that say you'll make millions working from home in your pajamas.
Right. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Exactly.
This law encourages us to, be wary of those promises of easy money.
Right.
And focus on building wealth through, steady effort and smart decisions.
Building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint.
That's a great way to put it.
Right. So these 5 laws, along with the 7 cures, they really give us a solid foundation for financial well-being.
They really do.
It's incredible how relevant these ancient principles still are.
I know, it's amazing, right?
In today's world of, digital banking and online investing and everything.
It really is.
But what does it all mean for us today?
Yeah, that's a great question.
How can we apply this ancient wisdom to our modern lives?
Let's explore that.
Okay, so we've dug deep, and we've uncovered these ancient Babylonian secrets to financial success.
Yeah.
The 7 cures for a lean purse and the 5 laws of gold.
It's really fascinating stuff.
It is, and, it's just incredible how these principles,
Right.
written on clay tablets centuries ago,
Yeah.
still hold so much weight in our modern world.
It's really remarkable, isn't it?
It is, what strikes me is that it's not all about the money.
Right.
You know,
it's bigger than that.
It's like it's woven into this larger idea
Yeah.
of character development and self-discipline.
Yeah, personal growth.
And wise decision-making.
Exactly.
It's like Arcad is saying, build a solid foundation for your life.
Right.
And financial well-being will follow.
Yeah, it's not about getting rich quick.
Right.
It's about creating lasting prosperity.
Exactly. And remember how Arcad talks about becoming a skilled scribe?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't just want to get paid.
Right.
He took pride in his work.
Mm.
And he always tried to improve his craft.
He was always learning.
Right. And that ultimately led him to, greater opportunities and financial success.
Yeah. It's a great reminder that financial success often comes from personal growth.
Right.
And a commitment to excellence.
So it's about developing a strong work ethic, seeking knowledge, always striving to improve.
Absolutely. And making smart choices.
Right. Impulsive ones.
Right. Like, think about cure number 2.
Yes. Control thy expenditures.
Exactly. It's not about, depriving yourself.
Right.
But being mindful of where your money's going.
Right.
And aligning your spending with your values and goals.
I think this is where a lot of people get tripped up with lifestyle inflation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You get a raise, you get a bonus.
Yeah. And suddenly you need a bigger house or a nicer car.
That's right. You got to keep up with the Joneses.
Exactly.
But Arcad's wisdom is all about breaking free from that cycle and focusing on building true wealth.
Yes, building wealth, not just accumulating stuff.
Right. And those 5 laws of gold, they give us that roadmap.
They do.
For managing our wealth wisely.
Yeah. Saving consistently, investing wisely, seeking expert advice.
It's like having a financial compass guiding us through this crazy world of finance.
I love that analogy.
But how do we reconcile these ancient principles with the realities of today,
Student loan debt, volatile housing market inflation.
It can feel overwhelming.
It can, but that's where the timelessness of these principles really comes through.
It does.
They provide that framework for navigating any financial situation, regardless of the challenges.
For example, that first cure, start thy purse to fattening, applies just as well to paying down debt as it does to saving for the future.
Okay.
It's about setting those financial goals and making consistent progress.
Even if it's just a few dollars at a time.
Exactly. Every little bit counts.
So it's about adapting these principles to our own situations.
Absolutely.
And finding what works for us.
Yeah. And remember, it's a journey.
Okay.
Not a destination.
Right.
There will be ups and downs along the way.
Sure.
But by embracing those core principles from the richest man in Babylon, we can build a solid foundation.
For a brighter financial future.
Exactly.
So what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
That financial success is within everyone's reach. If you're willing to adopt a mindset of discipline and smart decision-making and continuous learning, it's not about luck or inheritance.
Right.
It's about taking control of your finances.
And building a life of abundance and purpose.
Exactly.
So to all our listeners out there, we encourage you to check out The Richest Man in Babylon for yourself.
Yeah.
Uncover that timeless wisdom, and who knows, you might just discover the key to unlocking your own financial freedom.